Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Cone back here again tonight with another episode of After the Buzzer, the first one of this NBA season. Today, I'm just going to go over the Thunder game. I didn't have a lot of time today, and it's just the preseason, but the Thunder had 4 rookies make their debuts tonight. The main one I want to talk about is the 6th overall pick, Josh Giddey. It was a pick that a lot of people criticized, and a lot of people were pretty shocked by. Most people thought it was going to be James Bouknight, who also played in this game and had a pretty good performance with 20 points himself. A lot of people thought he was the pick at number 6. It seemed kind of locked in. And then in classic Thunder fashion, nobody actually knew what was going to happen. And Josh Giddey went to the Thunder 6 overall. It was criticized by a lot of people. A lot of people said he couldn't really do much. He wasn't ready. It was a bad pick. It was a reach, whatever. And then in his first game, his NBA debut game, Giddey put on a performance. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, hit a couple of threes, super efficient. I believe he was 8 of 12, 9 of 12 from the field. He was so damn good in this game. I am going to preface this video. It's preseason. This doesn't mean a ton. But from what I saw, Giddey's going to be really good really quick. Giddey is going to come in and make an impact immediately. He's only 18 years old, and the feel that he has for the game is far beyond his years. That's something that we've seen out of a lot of international or just players that played in different international leagues coming through the draft these past few seasons. LaMelo Ball in this game, it felt kind of similar to him, the way that he came into the league super young and yet had a great feel for the game. Luka Doncic is another example. I'm not saying Giddey's as good as those two players, but he had a similar court feel. Every moment that he had the ball in his hands, it felt like it had a purpose. It felt like he knew what he was going to do. He had a game plan, and Giddey only had 3 assists. He could have had well into double digits if people hit the shots that he set up. He had some crazy good pick and roll passes with Mike Muscala. He hit Teo Maledon on a crazy one-handed swing pass from one side of the court to the other side, almost in the corner. Teo missed it, and then Giddey goes up, grabs the offensive rebound, and puts it back in for an and one. He was all over the court tonight, and everything that I saw just points to the fact that he's going to be good, really, really good. And that's exactly what I wanted to see from him. After all the criticism, all the people saying he couldn't be this or that it was a reach, Giddey had a great game. And it was super, super nice to see. He felt so much more mature. It didn't feel like his first game whatsoever. It felt like he had been in the league for years, and I know he's been doing it as a pro in the NBL in Australia before, and I think that translated a lot into this game. He didn't feel like he shied away from the moment. He felt super confident, and that's exactly what I wanted to see coming out of him. I wanted to see that confidence. I wanted to see that court vision, which he showed off beautifully. He showed off great rebounding. Being a 6'8", 6'9" guy, he's going to get on the boards. And we're not a team with a lot of bigs. Our tallest guys are like Mike Muscala, like Isaiah Roby, Mamadi Diakite, UVA legend, shout out to him who played some minutes, Derek Favors. We don't have a lot of great rebounders, and so seeing Giddey get at it on the boards is a cool thing to see, especially because a lot of times he would get that ball off the board and either, if it was an offensive rebound like the one I talked about, immediately put it back up or try to create a scoring opportunity, or if he grabs it on the defensive end, he was immediately running in transition, playing fast-paced, getting the ball up the court and trying to make a play happen. And that's such a good fit for the way that this team is going. This team is built for multiple ball handlers. Poku, Shea, obviously, Dort, Giddey, Baisley even at times. This team is built. Trey Mann, who also debuted, and I'll talk about him, Aaron Wiggins, and JRE in a second. But the way that he was pushing the ball up, the way that he playmaked, the fact that I saw Shea shoot 2 catch-and-shoot threes tonight. I can't remember a single catch-and-shoot three that immediately comes to mind from last season for Shea. Shea never got those opportunities because he was always the one creating shots for others. He was never the one having shots created for him. And the way that Josh Giddey played, the way that he set him up, and even him just being on the court, he got so many open looks, and it was so nice to see someone. It's part of why I was excited when we took him, and the more that I looked into his game, because we needed another playmaker alongside Shea. Shea's a good playmaker. Giddey is going to be a great playmaker, I think. Giddey is going to be a guy that can average double-digit assists multiple times in his career, and this season I'm hopeful that he'll be able to average 6 or 7. I really think he can. I think it's less so a matter of him getting the opportunities to other people. It's just whether if those guys are able to convert, I can't overstate how excited I was. 2 threes as well. That was something that a lot of people were worried about. And it was a mixture of things too. Attacking the basket, going at people. He split the defense. He did a little bit of everything. Shooting threes, shooting off the dribble. He even had a turnaround mid-range that just barely missed. A floater that he hit from like the free throw line. He showed a little bit of everything in this game. It wasn't just like wide open layups or transition buckets or wide open threes. He was doing everything. Offensively, playmaking wise, he was even doing a good job of guarding on the perimeter, being aggressive on defense while not fouling, which is something that a lot of young guards and especially young perimeter players can run into problems with because of how talented NBA perimeter players are, especially in the modern league. He was really impressive. And I know it's preseason. I'm not saying that he's going to win Rookie of the Year or anything, or, maybe I am. I'm not. But Giddey Rookie of the Year propaganda. But I'm saying I was impressed, and it's super nice to see as a Thunder fan that has had to defend the pick all offseason despite him not playing a single minute. He played in the preseason, or not the preseason, summer league for like 2 minutes, and his first play, he drove past Cade and dunked with Sekou Doumbouya right on his back, and then he twisted his ankle, got blocked in a 3, and he never played again. So this is the first real look we got at Josh Giddey playing the game without some major ankle injury, and he excelled. He played fantastic basketball. I can't wait to see what he does in the regular season. Shea only played 17 minutes. I'm really excited to see what those two do on the court together. That's one of the main things I'm looking at going into this season. How do those two interact? How many more open looks does Shea get that he doesn't have to create himself? Does that help him become even more efficient because he doesn't always have to find those looks and exhaust himself probing and trying to figure out where in the defense he can exploit to get those buckets for himself? Great game from Josh Giddey. Love to see it. I was super impressed. I think that's all. A little bit of everything, like I said. Twitter's going crazy, and it's cool to see. It's cool to see people excited about it. This is our highest draft pick in a long time, since Cameron Payne back in, I believe it was the 2015 draft. So it's been a long time. And even then, Cameron Payne was like the 13th, 14th overall pick. So Giddey's number 6. This is a big deal. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited for his future, and I'm excited to see what he did tonight. For the other rookies, Tre Mann, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He did a great job of creating space and getting his shot. The shots just weren't quite falling. I think it's going to get more consistent. He's always been a good shooter, and so I think he will figure that out. He drew some fouls, hit from the free throw line. He had a great finish at the bucket too. I think he's a guy that as he gets stronger and more used to the pace of the NBA game, he's going to become a really, really good finisher, and he's going to get much better at converting those opportunities that he already does such a good job of creating, despite being his first preseason game. That's what I was really impressed with. The way that he was able to always create his own shot and make space and find kind of a lane. Similar to the way that Giddey, like every shot felt purposeful, it always knew what he was going to do with the ball. When Tre Mann was attacking the defense, it felt like he always knew what to do. The shots just weren't falling tonight, and I'm hopeful that they will in the future. For JRE, he only played 15 minutes, 0 points, 0 rebounds, or 0 assists, and 2 rebounds. He didn't play a lot, and that's fine. He was someone that I was really impressed with in the Summer League. I've already seen what I need to see from him. He's just going to be a solid piece. He's going to be a decent all-around player, and that's what you like to see from a guy that you take in that range that you do, right around the beginning of the second round. And Aaron Wiggins, 12 points, 1 assist, hit a couple of threes. Aaron Wiggins was super impressive tonight. I really liked what I saw from him. Similar to the way in the Summer League, it feels like, so someone DM'd me after we drafted him and said that Aaron Wiggins has kind of been like hailed on his defensive skills so far, but that they believed he had a lot of offensive potential. It's just a matter of him getting the touches that he really didn't get at Maryland. And when he did get the touches, scoring 12 points in 7 minutes, it was impressive. His shooting stroke looks good. He is a stronger guy than Tre Mann. So when he was able to kind of get into the paint, he was able to more body off of guys. Once again, some really, really smooth moves. He had a great spin move. Didn't convert the shot, but it was an amazing move that I think as he gets more reps, he will begin to convert those. I think he's going to play a lot of G League minutes this season, and I think that's going to be fun. He's going to make OKC Blue games really fun to watch, but I hope he does get some NBA run at some point in this year because I like what I've seen from him, and I really think he can be a piece going forward. Rocky number 21, Andre Roberson's old number, he's got to impress, otherwise I'd be very disappointed, and he did impress tonight. So those were the rookies. I'll talk about a couple other guys. Shea, solid game from him, only played 17 minutes. Dort hit some threes, which was nice to see, and typical Dort fashion, he dunked on someone. We've also got Poku, who had some fun moments. Still looks really raw. That's to be expected. I do think he can have a pretty solid season, but he's not going to come into the season as a world beater or anything like that. He did show some promising moments. He seemed like more in control of his movements. It seemed like things were more purposeful, more adjusted to the game. He made a couple of nice shots. He had one layup that was really nice that should have been a goaltend that they just didn't call because apparently the refs hate Poku, but Poku's fun. I'm really excited to see what him and Giddey do on the court as well. Two guys that are taller, playmakers. I think there's going to be some fun moments between the two of those guys. Flashier guys, super, super confident between the two of those. I don't think there's a more confident duo in the NBA. And so I think that we're in for some fun highlights when those two get to share the court together. You throw Shea in there and that's three really fun ball handlers. What really got me excited in this game was all the different lineups that Mark Daigneault used. We saw different combinations. We saw 3 guard lineups, 2 guard lineups, 2 larger guy lineups, a little bit of everything. And I think that's what's fun about this Thunder roster is that there's so many different ways that Mark Daigneault can go with the rotations, with the players, with the personnel on the court at the same time, the way that he can stagger minutes to make sure there's always at least 2 or 3 ball handlers on the court. Even if this team's not very good, which I don't expect them to be, it's going to be fun. And I'm really happy what I saw tonight from the team. Really all I wanted to see in this game was fun. And I had a lot of fun watching. I'm going to have a lot of fun watching this team this season. Shout to the Hornets. If you want to know the results of the game, the Hornets won by 16. It was a pretty convincing win. It was really never in question. And the Hornets are just a good team. Big moments from LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier. Like I said, James Bouknight with 20 points. Great game all around, super fun to watch, and I'm looking forward to watching more Hornets basketball, as well, of course, Thunder basketball. Like I said, I'm not going to talk much more about other preseason games. Andre Drummond had a good game. Tyler Hero, I know, got some buckets for the Miami Heat. It was also fun to see Kyle Lowry and Bam Adebayo work together. I think they're going to be a super fun duo to watch. And yeah, Cat dunked on someone. That's another thing. And the Celtics were pretty fun. I watched a little bit of the Celtics game when I had time. They're going to be a fun team. Also, Josh Primo had 17. So a big night for some of the youngest guys in the NBA. That's all I'm going to say in this video. If your team played a preseason game, let me know how they did. Let me know which players impressed, especially like rookies. The preseason is where I'm really watching to see how rookies do, so I can kind of evaluate them and kind of look at like, oh, which guys should I watch more? Who should I be excited about? And kind of just figure out more about their game, because Summer League shows you a little bit, but these are like full NBA games. While they're not regular season official games, these are NBA rosters. It's not like summer camp invitees. These are actual guys that are going to play for the teams. So it's fun to see how they adjust in these actual like arenas and NBA settings. Let me know who played well for your team. Let me know how your team did. Let me know what you're excited about, and let me know what you thought about Josh Giddey if you did watch the game, and if you didn't, go check out my Twitter. I tweet out highlights and I tweet about it 30 times. I appreciate y'all watching. I will see you all later. Real one, say it back.